Welcome to Truth and Justice with Vivian King. I am so excited tonight because I have a special guest in the studio, Mr. Cameron Coker. He was the subject of a first 48 hours in which the Harris County Police Department said that he was the person who murdered a young man by the name of Eric. I also have his sister, Jessica Robinson, in the studio tonight, and we want to talk about how excited we are. I was Cameron's lawyer. He's been in jail for about 3 years, and he got out at midnight last night, so I'm so excited for him to be my guest. So Cameron, say hello.
Hello.
And say that you're happy to be free.
I'm happy to be free.
Okay.
Very happy and blessed.
And blessed, exactly, and blessed. And Jessica, what do you say?
I just want to say thank you, Ms. King, for putting our puzzle back together. My brother is home, and we appreciate everything. And that's coming from me and my family.
Okay. And before we start, though, we do want to say that we have condolences for Mr. Eric, the young man that got killed, and his family. So even though we're very excited about Cameron's release, we do not minimize the fact that a young man was killed. Cameron's sad about it, his family is sad about it, and so I just want to make sure that that's real clear, but we're happy that a young man who did not commit the crime was freed, and I want to say thank you to the Harris County District Attorney's Office and the two prosecutors that were the last prosecutors on the case that stepped up to the plate and realized that they couldn't prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt. They didn't have enough evidence on Cameron, or the evidence was weak, and they did the right thing, because it's difficult to dismiss a case when you've had a young man in jail for 3 years. So the investigation is still ongoing. And the story is going to be interesting as we go. So let's just get right to it. Let's talk to Cameron. Cameron, I'm so happy Cameron is free. We're so happy Cameron is free. So anyway, Cameron, tell us a little bit about you. Cameron, I'm just going to start off. Cameron is 21?
21.
He's 21 years old.
Yes,
he's been in jail since he was 18. So his mother's not in the studio tonight because she's at work. But we want to talk to you. So Cameron has not always been a very good boy, obviously, and that's why his name ran around when this happened, and we believe that maybe is partly why he got misidentified in this case. So I want to give you a little background on Cameron before we get started. Cameron dropped out of high school in the 11th grade. He was going to Elsick High School. And he didn't drop out intentionally, though. He got charged with aggravated robbery. So let's talk about that, Cameron. You were in the 11th grade, and you were coming home from school one day, and let's talk about how you got charged with the aggravated robbery.
I was coming home from school one day, and I was walking to the store through the back alley, and I seen a couple of guys up there, you know what I'm saying? And I walked inside the store to buy something, and I come back out, and there's a whole bunch of police on outside, and I had some marijuana in my pocket, so I was scared, and I ran through the back alley, and the police officers were surrounding the complex, and as I was running, they all met up in the back, and they seen me running. And as I'm running, I'm very scared, because I had marijuana on me. I didn't want to go to jail.
And how old are you? About 15, 16?
I was about 17.
You just turned 17.
17. I had just got out probation. I didn't want to be in no more trouble, so I had started smoking marijuana. I had completed my probation. I had did a full year, going to school, and everything.
Let me correct you, because I don't think that was very clear. Cameron had done 1 year on juvenile probation, and you were a juvenile when you're 16 and under. And that was, he got caught with some codeine when he was in high school. So he did 1 year of juvenile probation. Once you become 17, then you're in the adult system in Texas. So he just successfully completed his juvenile probation. He's still in school. He's going to Elsick High School. He gets home from school and goes to the store. Now, what's the significance of you saying you saw two men when you were walking through the alley? You think they might have had something to do with the robbery?
Right.
Were they your age?
No, they were a little older than me, but I guess I looked older than what people perceived about me.
Why is that? Because you were tall? Or?
Right, tall. About 6'1",
Mature.
6 feet, and a lot of people knew me, but they didn't know that I was that young. They probably thought I was about 19, 20, 21.
Okay.
A little couple more years on me.
So go back to your story. So you're coming home, you see the police around in the area, and you got marijuana in your pocket, and you just got off probation. So you start running.
Right, I was running, and as I'm running, the police, I was trying to throw the marijuana, but I didn't get to. And the police, I guess they had already caught it in on the little walkie-talkies in their car.
Was it daytime or nighttime?
It was about it was going to be about night, about an hour to nightfall.
Okay.
And,
So it's still daytime.
Right. And as I'm getting there, my mom, she works in a daycare right there in the complex, and they come in and it's about 5 cars. They had their guns out. Get on the ground, get on the ground. And I get on the ground, and they handcuff my mom. Comes outside, and she's all crying at the daycare. And she was like, why y'all taking my son to jail? They're like, you're just taking him for evading, and we found some marijuana on him. So as I get booked into Harris County Jail, I found out they were trying to charge me with aggravated robbery. And I spent about, I had called my mom and my family, they're trying to charge me aggravated robbery for something I didn't do. And I sit there about 5.5 months, and they had released me on that case. They had got the case dismissed.
But why did they get the case dismissed?
Because I guess the complainant, they couldn't find him, and he realized that it wasn't me, that they really did it. If they did, I didn't know. They just told me. I just went to a court one day, and I was like, well, we're going to dismiss your case.
When did you hear about the case, though? Did you hear who was robbed? Was it a store? Let me finish asking. Was it a store? Was it a person? Who did they say? Who did your lawyer tell you got robbed?
They were like, when he read the police report, he was saying it was a civilian, a person. And I was...
But you told me off camera it was a crackhead, so where did you get that from?
A crackhead. Well, I guess somebody was trying to, like, serve him something that he didn't want, and they took his money. So I guess he called the police. That's what the police report was saying. He called the police and said somebody took his money because he was mad because he didn't get what he, I guess what they served him.
So what do you mean what they served? Is that like a drug term or what?
Yeah, just like give him what he asked for, and they just took his money instead.
So basically the crackhead or the victim, alleged victim, got robbed of his money when he was trying to buy some drugs.
Right.
Is what your lawyer and the investigators found out really what happened.
Right.
And they let you go.
Right.
Did you do the robbery, Cameron?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So after that, so this is 2007. You're 17. You get out of jail, and that stops you from going to high school, basically.
Right.
So that's when you drop out. But in 2008, you could have gone back to school. Why didn't you go back to high school?
It's just like it started like a chemical reaction. I knew I was backtracking. I was missing a lot of things, and it's just like a chemical chain. It just everything started occurring. And I was still going to school. It's just like I wasn't feeling it anymore. But
okay, well let's talk about the case that you got in trouble with. So now we're in 2009. You were 18 in 2009, and you get charged with a murder that you didn't commit. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're telling the viewers that you didn't commit the murder. Is that right?
Right.
All right. But tell us how you got caught up in a case for a second time now for a serious crime that you didn't commit.
Well, it was about I remember this day like the back of my head. It was early Sunday, July 22nd, when I had just got out of jail on a previous evading detention.
Now we're gonna have to give a little background to the listeners. So the murder of young Eric happened on the late night of Sunday, July 19th.
Right.
At 12:20 a.m. So now it's actually really Monday morning at 12:20 a.m. What Cameron needs to say as a background is that he went to jail on July 15th of 2009 for evading arrest. He'd had a fight with his girlfriend. It led to evading arrest. His girlfriend was Renisha at the time. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And he went to jail, and he was in there for 4 days, from the 15th through July 19th, 2009, and he was released at approximately 9 a.m. So we got 9 a.m. July 19th, and then later on that night at 12:20 a.m., a murder occurs of young Eric at an apartment complex where there is basically what is described as a gang shooting. It was the subject of a first 48-hour episode. The name of the episode was Straight Menace. And they said Cameron was a menace to society. So anyway, that's how it started. It's a gang fight and a murder, a very unfortunate murder. There's some the young man is Hispanic that got killed, and he's there at a house party with some other teenagers. And these teenagers live on their own. It's a strange situation, but they live on their own. He's there at the party. And then apparently there's a young group of black guys that live in this apartment complex that are having a party too. And from my investigation, an altercation occurs between the Hispanic young man and a couple of the black guys earlier in the afternoon. And later, the black guys come back to that apartment area and say, "Where's the cholo? Where's the cholo?" And young Eric leaves out of the apartment. They're looking over the balcony, he and his buddies, and he runs downstairs to, I guess, talk to him, a fight or whatever. Some of the investigation says he wanted to fight. And a tall, what's described as a tall, light-skinned black guy punches young Eric in the face. He falls in the bushes. When he gets up, the young, light-skinned black guy puts a gun to his head and just kills him right there. He's dead on the scene. So we have this group that are having a party that see their friend get killed, and then we have a group of like 15 to 20 black guys that are with this guy, and everybody disperses. And when the police get there, they say they don't hear cars leaving, so they think the people had to have still been in the apartment complex. So that's the part that I know from the investigation. And now, here comes Cameron. So I'm going to talk about I want Cameron to talk about when he first hears about this murder and what happened. So tell us, Cameron, what happened.
It was about, like I said, it was on July 22nd, I forget the exact day, the weekday. And
well, that would have been Wednesday.
Okay, on a Wednesday, I had woke up. I had been at my mother's house, and I get a phone call from one of my friends saying, JP wants to talk to you. He said to call him.
Now let's tell the viewers who JP is. JP, tell who JP is.
JP is a police officer, a cop that patrols the complex of the area where Eric supposedly got murdered.
But you also know JP because he's arrested you before.
Yes,
Did he arrest you in that aggravated robbery case?
Well, he was out there with the police.
Right, so he knows you, and he's once upon a time. Let me let Jessica talk for a minute.
He was involved.
Jessica Robinson is Cameron's faithful, beloved sister. She's 1 year younger. Tell us who you are. She loves her brother. She stuck by him through thick and thin. Called me constantly, kept up with me constantly, and let's let Jessica talk for a little while.
I'm Jessica, Cameron's sister, Cameron's younger sister. I've been there for him. I love him. You know, he's my everything. I'm happy to have him here sitting with me right now. It's crazy, you know, but I'm happy. Everything's going good.
Let's talk about JP, though. We're going to tell the story.
JP, however...
How do you know JP? Because you said JP, everybody knows him in the neighborhood.
Yes, ma'am. Everybody knows him in the apartment complex. Everybody knows.
Do y'all call him Officer JP or just JP?
We gave him the nickname
JP.
Everybody knows his real name, but we call him JP. And he patrols the area.
He carries a gun, so y'all think he's a cop.
Gun.
Right.
I think he's a cop. He carries a gun, he patrols the area, and he's always just picking with folks, you know, just for nothing, just picking with them. And so he didn't know Cameron, he knew me, because Cameron wasn't staying in the apartment complex at the time. But when Cameron did move into the apartment complex with our mother, JP started picking with Cameron because he was hanging around other guys that JP felt like wasn't I don't know the right crowd, basically. Thank you. He wasn't the right crowd to be around, you know. So JP just started bothering Cameron, I guess, feeling like if they one way, you must be the same way too. And so that's how that started. And we got evicted from the apartment complex because of JP. Him and my mom had an altercation. We moved to a house on West Belford. That's where we stayed.
Now, when y'all got evicted, did it have to do with when he got charged with the robbery case? Or do you remember?
No, it didn't have to do with that.
Okay, we don't want to get into that too much because we really want to get to the episode with First 48 Hours that had him in jail for the last 3 years. But I wanted you to kind of give a little background about JP and how you knew him. And I think off camera you said JP said Cameron just sticks out like a sore thumb. Tell me about that.
Yeah, when he called me, he told us that the day he called us when he picked Cameron up.
And this is about the murder case?
Yes, ma'am. The day he picked Cameron up to question him, bring him down for questioning, I actually walked outside with Cameron. And he was like, I know how you is about your brother, you know. And I was like, I gave Cameron a kiss. I'm like, I love you. Call me, JP. Like, if he don't answer, call me. So from then on, I'm like, something's not right. Something's just not right. And so JP called my mom, and he was like, I'm taking Cameron down for questioning. And my mom was like, you know, what's going on? What's going on? He's like, oh, it's nothing major, nothing bad. He just, you know, Cameron sticks out like a sore thumb. So everybody wants to talk with Cameron now.
So then, Cameron, what happened? So you get a call from your friend to come. JP's going to come and take you down for questioning. How'd you feel about that?
Well, I feel like, you know, not to be scared of nothing in there, because I know I didn't do anything.
Had the streets start talking? It's been 2 days now since this young baby got murdered. Had you heard that someone was murdered and they thought you did it, or did you know what they wanted to question you about?
I didn't hear nobody was murdered, but like people were calling my phone. One of the matter of fact, people that was on the first 48 that was talking. He was.
And let me just stop right now. Now, Cameron's been in jail since July of 2009. He just, for the first time, saw this episode of First 48, what, like about 3 or 4 months ago?
Right.
So he didn't know. He'd heard a lot of rumors and a lot of talking and people visiting him in jail, because he's been in jail the whole time. But I don't want you to be deceived that he knew what had been said on First 48, because you hadn't even seen that episode, right?
People just were saying that they seen me on television.
Okay.
And,
all right. So you went down to the jail. I mean, so did JP actually drive you to the Harris County Jail?
No, he didn't drive me to the Harris County Jail. He took me to like a substation off Highway 6. And right before we got there, though, he was like, "Are you hungry? Do you want something to eat? You know, you want something to drink? Are you smoke a cigarette?" I was like, "Yeah," you know. And before we get in there and talking, he's like, "Well, if you didn't do anything, they just want to question you. If you didn't do anything, why don't you just tell them let you take a lie to take the test?" So in the back of my head, I'm like, "Okay, I know I didn't do nothing. I just want to see what these people want to say that I did to clear my name, because I know I didn't do anything."
And you're 18 years old.
I was 18.
A police officer takes you basically to a substation, tells you to take a lie detector test. Now, you didn't try to call a lawyer. You didn't have a lawyer, did
Right.
you?
No, ma'am.
No money. So what did you do?
As I get into the substation, I walk to the back. I sit in there for about a couple of minutes, and 2 detectives walk in and sit down and like, "Yeah, we've been looking for you, Mr. Coker. Why y'all looking for me? What did I do?" You know what I mean? I'm sitting there, and they pull out I can't remember. It's been so long, but they pulled out I think a card and read my rights or something. And I'm sitting there, and they started asking.
How did you feel when they read you your rights?
I'm like, I'm really trying to get to the point. Like, why do y'all have me here?
Right.
I'm not really worried about rights. I want to know what y'all trying to say I did.
Right.
Because I know I didn't do anything. I know I just got out of jail at the point of time.
Right.
And they started saying, "Well, have you ate? Do you feel good? Are you all right? Did you eat? Did you sleep good last night?" I'm like, "Yes, I slept good last night. I ate." And as we're sitting there talking, this when they start asking me all these questions about, do you know this guy? Where were you? You murdered, you committed a homicide. I'm like, what is a homicide? Who did I kill? You know, I don't ask me, you're hanging around the wrong crowd. And I'm just sitting there like in shock, because it just came to me fast, because I know I didn't kill anybody. You know, I just had got out of jail. I'm telling you, I'm trying to go back to school and finish up, because I know I was 18, I was still young, and I can still go back to school and finish up. And I really wanted to graduate, and they really took a lot of time out of my life. And as I'm going to the officers were like, so I asked him, can I take a lie detector test? Because that's what the previous officer that brought me up here was like, just tell them that you take a lie detector test. If you ain't doing anything, they're gonna let you go home. So I asked him, can I take a lie detector test? And do I need a lawyer or something? Now, I don't know nothing about the law. I'm just a regular little kid going to school. My first time ever been asked about a murder or something. And they asked me, well, yeah, you can take a lie detector test. I get in the car. I think I'm going down to take this lie detector test. They're driving down there. They tell me, yeah, I've been doing this for 50 years. Who's killer? I'm like, I don't know who that is. They call me Cam. You know, they just making things up on me. And as I get here, next thing you know, they said, well, you violated your rights. You said you wanted to talk to your lawyer. I guess they didn't trick me just to take me downtown. And the next thing, they threw me in jail.
But didn't they take you to the apartment complex where it happened?
Right,
Where the murder
right.
happened?
They were like, well, do you be around this neighborhood? I'm like, no, I don't be around here, but one of my friends stays over here, and all I do is come and drop him off, and I'll leave. I never stayed over here for more than about 5 minutes just to pick him up and leave, and I don't even hang around over here because
But you do have a nickname of Killer on MySpace, so tell me, why is that?
well, it's based off a rapper that's a Killer Cam. You know, we have the same name.
Oh, Killer Cam, there's a rapper named Killer
Right.
Cam.
His name's Cameron, his real name, and without the E, but they call him Cameron. They call him Killer Cam, and so you know,
That's just for MySpace.
right.
Okay. But in reality, Jessica, did you ever call him Killer?
I never called him Killer.
What's his nickname to you?
We called him Popcorn because his hair was always like looking at me.
Popcorn.
So we called him Popcorn or Camp Cam.
Yeah, but
Big
never
bro,
Killer.
but never
Big
Killer.
bro. Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure. So, so then, so they put you in jail. So what's your reaction then? You call home. You get a $50,000 bond.
Yes, I'm telling my mother, I'm like, Mom, man, they got me here for something I ain't do. I really didn't do this. I'm thinking that they're gonna let me go in a couple hours. So I'm still waiting on my lie detector test.
Right. And they never come back for the lie
And
detector
they
test.
never come back and give me a lie detector test. They took my phone.
Your cell phone.
Right. They're like, I'm like, what are y'all taking my phone for? They're like, well, we need this. You know what I'm saying? I guess for investigation or something. Which I never got that back. But I hope it works out for them and they you know do find something with it. But yes, I get thrown into jail. You know, I reached the floor, and then after that, it's been about 3 years that I been in jail.
And you look so good, sweetheart. You were so little when they took you in. You've gained about 50 pounds, haven't you?
Yes, ma'am.
How tall have you grown?
About 2 inches.
You've grown about 2 inches?
2 feet, 2 feet.
Okay,
Well, 2 inches.
You 6'2" or 3"?
6'3", about 6'3".
He's about 6'3" now, gained about 50 pounds. He didn't even look like he did when he went in, based on the booking photo. So what do you think? So tell us about the experience. Now, you had a $50,000 bond, and tell us why you never bonded out.
Well, I never bonded out because my mother's a single mom parent, and I know how hard it's been going through a struggle with a single mom that raises 4 kids, which is a wonderful, beautiful, loving mother that deserves everything in the world, which any mother would, that can support their family and doesn't need a father figure, which most of us never really had a father figure, which our mother told us she was our father, mother
That's sweet.
And
you just were going to try to make her raise the money to get you a bond.
right, you know, and I'm thinking they're gonna let me go and.
So 09 turns into 010, turns into 11, and turns into 12.
Right.
And now here you are getting out last night at midnight.
Yes, ma'am.
Yay!
And we was there.
Yeah, he was
At
free.
that
So, but just tell me how you passed the time over the last few years staying in jail. I just want the viewers to know I'm Cameron's second lawyer. When I was appointed to represent him in 2011, his case was already set for trial. And just tell us about that experience waiting in jail so long.
Well, you know, it's a tough thing to experience, which I wish nobody would ever even go to that place, have to experience nothing like that. But, you know, they say a wise man falls 7 times and bumps his head. But I wasn't wise at the moment. I was still young. I can admit to that. And
You had a lot of fights in jail, didn't you?
Right, I had a lot of fights, you know. It's
I bet you were angry, weren't you?
angry at why would I be here for something I didn't do.
Right. Thinking
know?
nobody cared about you.
Right. Well, I knew people cared about me, but my family. But I'm saying, like, why would people just lie on me?
So what about all the little dudes you hung around, little gangbangers and little boys in the neighborhood living on the edge? Were they there for you like you thought they'd be?
He expected more out of him.
Expecting more out of them.
What did you expect?
I expected them to be there for me like I was there for them when they needed something. When they needed some money to do something, you know, I would
Put
give
on
it
your
to them.
books and
Right.
stuff?
And, you know, a couple of visits, but it's I know it's the thought that counts, and I'm thankful for everything, and I'm really blessed. But it's been a rough journey.
Hold on, let me take this call. Caller, you're on.
Hello?
Hello, caller, you're on. Thanks for calling. Turn your TV down so we won't get that.
Congratulate.
Oh, thank you.
I was just calling to congratulate Cameron on his release and to let him know that God loves him and to just keep on and stay strong. And God has gave him another chance. So take that and run with it.
Isn't that amazing that he was in jail for 3 years for something he didn't do? How do you feel about that, caller?
Well, you know, sometimes when you constantly get in trouble and when you're guilty by association, and, you know, that's not always a good thing, being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And he sounds like he wasn't even there.
Oh, he wasn't there at all. No, he was not.
Been,
our investigation revealed he was not there.
Right, but because he has been in trouble before, he gets, you know, he gets identified unjustly.
Did you ever see that episode of First 48 Hours?
No, ma'am, I did not see that.
I just saw it for the first time last weekend. I'm the type of lawyer that I investigate cases based on what my client says happened. So I didn't really care what First 48 said. And so I just looked at it because we were supposed to start a trial on Monday, but by the grace of God, I'd convinced the DAs and based on their investigation that they just weren't sure. We developed another suspect in this case that looked like Cam. The people who saw it, the victim's people, said it was a tall, light-skinned black guy. Cam sticks out like a sore thumb, and some guy that he knows, and there was a reward that was put out by Crime Stoppers, and a guy that he knows came in and said that they thought it was him. And we'll talk about that more a little bit later. But thank you so much for calling and congratulating him. And we're so happy that Cam is free. And if I have anything to do with it, he's going to get that GED and he's going to get a trade. So we're going to keep praying for Cam. Thank you, caller.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So anyway, let's talk about how you felt when, I guess I don't want to talk about any other lawyers, but when I was appointed to you, how did you feel? I mean, because I was appointed to represent Cameron, and I normally don't do court appointments if it's not a capital murder. So, but I did. I was interested in his case. So.
Well, it had been about 18 months, and I had went to court one day, and I didn't see my regular lawyer, and I got called to the window, and Miss King, right, had came to the window like, well, she's gonna be my new lawyer, and I was like, well, what happened to my old lawyer, which.
How'd you feel about that? You've been working with someone for 18 months. Your case was set for trial. It was time to go to trial, and then this new lawyer just pops up and comes to the window and says, hey, I represent you now. I bet you felt crazy.
Well, I felt like, oh.
God sent you an angel.
Well, I didn't know yet.
I know you should have been scared.
Right. I was like, well, what are they doing? You know, well, I never had this happen to me before. You know, after 18 months, a year and a half, you're like, you ready to go home. You know,
right?
You're fighting for your life. You're ready to go home, and they're like, well, I'm thinking, well, it had to start all the way over again from day one.
Oh, and you know the other thing that was bad about this? I just remembered this. He gets a new lawyer, me, because his other lawyer gets a new assignment and can't represent him anymore. And then when I get on it, his former lawyer tells me who the investigator is, because it's set for trial. And the judge gives me about another 30 days or 2 months to get ready for it, because I need a little time. So I'm trying to find his lawyer, John Castillo, his investigator. The investigator gets cancer. So and he had investigated this because Cameron was at a motel that night. He'd just gotten out of jail, and then that night he was 18, so he couldn't sleep with his little girlfriend in front of his mother, so he had to go to a motel. So the first investigator was supposed to have gotten all those records, but I could never catch up with the doggone investigator, John Castillo. So because it's court appointed, the judge didn't really want to spend money on my investigator, Sonia Rafit. So I'm like, what do I do? So that's what we played with you for a long time, trying to get these records to show where he really was. We have another call. Caller, you're on.
Yes, I just wanted to say that asking ye shall receive, seeking ye shall find. I am the mother of Cameron Coker and Jessica Robinson. I have never wavered in my faith, and I love my children. My love is unconditional. I love you, baby. Welcome home.
Yes! Camera's on.
Welcome home.
All right, baby. Thank you, Mama. Okay, bye-bye. Anyway, so I forgot about this. I had a hard time trying to eventually, unfortunately, John Castillo died, and we never got those records. And so then we had to start all over trying to get those records that he had secured. And the thing is about videos, people, if you don't ask for them within a certain amount of time, they're taped over. So anyway, one of the things that helped Cameron, though, eventually we did, the DA's office also got the videos of the motel where he said he was that night. And he was there about 19 minutes. It showed his buddy getting a room for him and his girlfriend and showed them in the parking lot about 20 minutes after the murder occurred. He's calm, cool, calm, collected. It also shows him getting out of jail. We have a video of him getting out of jail at like 9:30 that morning. So why was he in jail all this time? I have no idea. We also developed another suspect because the streets were talking, and they were saying it was a guy by the name of Jamal Broussard, who was a tall, light-skinned, skinny black guy, too. And I want the viewers to see the picture. So, director, show us the pictures. This is the other person we developed, and we put a picture of Cam and the other young man side by side. So, momentarily, we'll get that picture up. Yeah, that's the other suspect we developed. And he looked, the lighting might be bad on the picture, but it's, you know, they look alike. And another thing is there were 6 witnesses at the party with Eric that said he did it, or that a guy looked like him that did it, or they knew it was a tall, skinny, light-skinned guy. But when it got time to the last trial setting, I think about 6 weeks ago,
Yes, ma'am.
3 of the witnesses that the prosecutors had caught up with were changing their story. And one of them was in prison at Safe P. And when we got him down and talked to him, the DAs talked to him, and me and my investigator talked to him. And I noticed that he was wearing thick glasses. And I'm like, hey, young man, why you got these thick glasses on? Did you have them on that night? No, ma'am. And see, they were all teenagers, so they'd lied to the cops. I had an inkling that they were getting high, because these are teenagers living together. It was really strange. And he said, yes, ma'am, I had been dropping Xanax and handlebars. I had been smoking weed. I had been drinking all night. And I said, well, where were your glasses? Oh, I broke them, and my mother hadn't bought me some new ones. She bought these glasses while I've been in jail. And I'm like, well, if you didn't have your glasses on and you got these thick glasses, how could you identify Cameron? He said, yes, ma'am. I just knew that it was a tall, skinny, light-skinned guy, and he looked closest like that person because he was tall, skinny, and light. But I couldn't see the guy's face. I didn't know who did it, and I just had heard about Cameron's reputation. He's not the one that did it, ma'am. Hold on just a moment. Please turn your TV down, and thank you for calling.
Please turn your TV down, and thank you for calling. Hi, Cameron.
Who is this?
This is Erica.
Okay, Erica, thank you for saying hi. You want to make another comment to Cameron?
Yes, I do. I would like to tell him to welcome home. We have missed him for a very long time, and we're so anxious to see him.
Make sure you help him get his GED and get a job, okay?
Oh, yes, ma'am, we sure will. We love you.
Love y'all too.
Thank you, sweetheart, for calling. So anyway, so the prosecutor said other witnesses still maybe thought that he did it, but they just didn't feel comfortable with it. And also, one of the things I found, let me see if I have another call. Oh, nope, okay. One of the things I found interesting is that all last year I was trying to see if there were any supplements to the police report. My investigator wanted it. And for some reason, I could never connect with the district attorney that was on the case. He never gave it to me. But a new set of prosecutors got on the case about 2 months in February and said, Ms. King, there's some Brady material I need to give you. And Brady versus Maryland is a famous case that puts a duty, it's a Supreme Court case that puts a duty on the prosecutor to give you any evidence that is called exculpatory evidence, which means that it tends to show that the defendant maybe didn't do this crime. And she called to tell me, did you ever get this supplement? I'm like, no. And I had actually filed a motion last year for, and I don't know if you remember that, I had filed a motion for specific discovery, and I wanted the supplements, and I hadn't gotten them. And she called me, she said, I think you need to see this. Well, some young man in 2011 came to the sheriff's department, these same police officers, and told them, look, I have information that it might be another guy. I had developed Jamal Broussard, or this other guy, as a suspect with the photograph I had, but I hadn't told the prosecutor, really. But when they give me this information, it is that someone came and said Jamal Broussard did it. And they had gotten his picture. And the DA said, he does look like Cam. She admitted it. She was a white female. She said they look alike. And I said, you know, I wasn't telling y'all that. I was going to surprise you in the trial and let you know who we developed. I said, but that's the same guy I developed as a suspect. So they were very honest in their account of that. And from there, they started trying to disprove that it's not you, that it wasn't the other guy. And they really could never do that. Caller, you're on.
Hey, we just wanted to call and tell Cameron that we're really happy. So, my name is Krista Hernandez. We just wanted to say hey to Cameron and that we are so glad he's home and we're just really happy that,
Are you watching the show?
Hello?
Are you watching the show tonight?
Yes, I'm watching it. It's me and my sisters, and so we're all like super excited.
And you know, and you know Karen from high school or junior high school?
We've known Cameron since we were like 15. I was like 15. I'm 24 now. So we've known him for a long time.
Yay, Cam's home. Okay, well, make sure he does the right thing, okay?
All right, love you, Cam.
Love y'all too.
All right, thanks for calling, baby. So anyway, we're trying to go back to what helped us with the case. So, but basically the prosecutors did the right thing. So Jessica, you haven't talked enough. What do you think about that?
About the prosecutors?
Yeah, just about the process of trying to find out who actually did it. Who is the tall, skinny, light-skinned guy? Because you knew it wasn't your brother. A rival gang lived in that apartment complex, so Cam couldn't walk around in that apartment complex because he had some affiliation, although he says he's not in the gang. So what do you think about that? And people knew who did it. They were just afraid to say.
People knew who did it. They were afraid to speak out, which I don't know. I don't understand why. Because if I was in the situation, if you were in the situation, you would want somebody to speak out about your family. You know, I feel like it was a bunch of chaos, you know.
But people saw, I mean, it was 15 young men with them or 10 men that saw who did it. They were with the shooter, so they know who did it. So it's interesting that none of them wanted to get the Crime Stoppers money. What do you think about that? Well, they arrested Cam in 48 hours, because I'm not saying that this Jamal Broussard did it. I'm just saying that's the suspect we developed, because I don't know. But I was told that he moved away to another city when it first happened, to either Arizona or California. And then once Cam got arrested and it was on first 48 episode, he moved back to Houston. Caller, you're on.
Hi, Cameron. It's Jessica. I was just calling to say congratulations.
Now, Jessica, does he know who you are?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Okay, so tell him thank you, Cam.
Thanks.
All right, sweetheart. Thanks for calling.
No problem.
Bye-bye. So, anyway, what was I saying? I forgot.
We were talking about
How he moved.
Oh, yeah, well, we heard he moved out of town. Now, Cam's in jail all this time, so we hear he moves out of town. And I guess he got arrested, so nobody ever said. But there was that honest young man. I'm sorry. There was a young man that came and told the police in 2011, look, I was at a party, and I heard these guys saying they were going to another party. And then I was there when they came back and said, oh, my God, Jamal just shot somebody. But this guy didn't see it. He saw 48 hours, I think maybe a year later or something, or a rerun, and said he couldn't sleep at night behind it, because he had already heard that night who had done it. And so he went and told the police, y'all got the wrong guy. And my investigator went and found the guy. And he said, no, I don't know Cameron, and I don't know the other guy, Jamal. But I know what I heard that night. And the police did follow up in 2011. They went and talked to the people who were at the party who saw it, but they denied seeing it then. You know, so once they got to him, and if someone doesn't want to say anything, there's nothing you can do about it. But there are people who repeated what was said, but the actual people who saw it won't come forward. So what are you going to do to stay out of trouble, Cameron? That's what we need to understand.
Well, you know, I had full support of my family and a couple of my friends while I was back in jail. So right now I'm just looking forward to getting my GED, you know, go get me a barber's license, try and cut hair, and just change my life, take another route, because God gave me another chance at being with my family again. Because I could have been down in the penitentiary convicted for a crime that I really didn't do. And by the grace of God, he appointed me Miss Vivian King, which is a great and wonderful lawyer.
Thank you, sweetheart.
And that he just blessed me with her, and I just really had to give him my life. You know, that's what he wanted, to slow me down, stop me in my tracks, and build me back up and make me to the man he wanted me to be. With me knowing all this now, I can say I haven't seen a lot, but I know a lot right now.
Well, what do you think is going to happen when your friends start finding out you're out of jail now? 'Cause you just got out at midnight last night, and they're going to want you to get high with them. They're going to want you to do wrong, sit on the corners, be up to no good. How are you going to resist that temptation?
Well, you know, in the back of my head, I always remember who was there for me. And when they kept saying, look, you know, we're here for you, they're not here for you, which was really true, I have a high self-esteem where really nobody can tell me what to do unless I want to. So with them even coming in my direction of asking me that, it would be out of the question of asking me to try and sit back on the block with you whenever I was in a jail and you couldn't come see me for 20 minutes. You know.
Hold on, let's see if we have a caller. Caller, you're on. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, talk to me.
Cameron, what's going on, man? You don't know me, but my name is Duke. I've been through the situations where I've had to get locked up and get out and have an opportunity to start over. I'm letting you know it's not going to be easy. So don't expect it to be easy, but just be willing to go forward and do what you got to do so you can stay out. Because it ain't nothing like being behind them bars, and you know that you've been there for something you didn't do. You don't want to go back there. I just, keep your head up and keep moving forward. It's going to be hard, but it's going to be all right, homie.
Appreciate
Duke, that is so sweet for you to say that. Now, how old a man are you, Duke?
I'm 27.
So what do you think he should do first? Try to get that GED? And because it's going to be difficult, because when people pull his background, they're going to see that he just got out of jail. So it's going to be tough for him. It's tough anyway to get a job, don't you think, Duke?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, when I first got out, I had to go work at Jiffy Lube, had to go, clean cars, just to do something to get on this side. But you said it better than anybody could have said it. God did that to break you down, to slow you down, to build you back up where you need to be.
Thank you for saying that to him, Duke, for an older man that knows, because that's exactly what I was going to ask him next, is how, he doesn't have a strong man in his life, do you?
Right.
And so, when a man gets down, he got his mom, he has his sister, but, sometimes you need a man to talk to. So I'm going to try to encourage him to get into some man group. I know I go to St. John's United Methodist, and they have some strong men there. They have a man's Bible study, and maybe I can he doesn't live close and he doesn't have transportation. I went way out to pick him up to bring him to the studio. I mean, far too. And I live inner city, so St. John's is inner city. But maybe there's a church out there that you just can't, you don't be too proud to go to church and try to get with a Bible study and try to find some older male mentors. Don't you think, Duke?
No, absolutely, absolutely. See, and the thing with me, I had to move to Houston for me to slow down.
Where were you before?
I was in Capital City. I was in Austin.
Okay.
Doing a lot of things down there. So it was just like I had to move so I could change my life around. If you got to get away from the people you was around, do what you got to do, homie. But don't put yourself in a situation where you're gonna be back behind them bars. Period. Point blank.
Thank you, Duke. Thank you for.
Go with your first mind, because usually when your first mind tell you what to do, that's what it is.
You're a godsend. Thank you, sweetheart, for calling in. Good night.
Good night.
So anyway, he's telling me, that's what I was going to ask you next. What are you going to do to make sure you don't run with the same crowd?
Well, I know, like you said, it's going to be hard. And with the man upstairs, which is our Heavenly Father, he'll be there behind me 100%, no matter right or wrong, and always give me a way out.
But you have to stay busy. At your age of 21, you might not have a job. You might can lay around the rest of this week. Right. But I don't care if you have to get up and ride the bus, and I'll give you some bus money to come and do some volunteer work somewhere. You got to do something for other people, because I do believe an idle mind is the devil's workshop. You got to stay busy. If you start sitting around watching TV, going looking for one job a day, you'll be back out there smoking dope, trying to sell dope. And when you're at work, when you're around home, when everybody else is at work, people are going to, you're going to be the first person they pick up when something goes wrong. That's called the usual suspects. Well, it got to be him, because, at 10 o'clock in the daytime, well, he's still, hanging around, walking around the apartment complex. And believe it or not, you've been gone 3 years, the streets have gotten meaner. And apartment complexes are cleaning up. They'll charge somebody with trespass that lives on the apartment complex. And you ain't on the lease, so we need to do something about that. Caller, you're on.
Hi, this is Sonia Rafid. I am Vivian King's investigator.
Go, Sonia! Go, Sonia!
And I worked this case with Vivian. It was a court-appointed case, and I would like to say a few things. One, that investigations can make a difference in a case.
Yes, Sonia. Especially you, baby.
I'm sorry?
I said especially you.
Thank you. An attorney that believes in their clients can make a difference in a case. You have to have, to the people that are in jail and things, you have to have trust in your attorneys. And you have to trust that they're there, the attorneys, to do their job, the investigators to do their jobs to the best of their ability. So if you're ever in a situation with Cameron, just finished, have faith in your attorney and cooperate with your investigators and defense team to make it a success for you. The second thing I'd like to say is, if you're ever in a situation such as Cameron and you are given that second chance, go forward with a positive attitude. Try, and it may be very, very difficult, to put the bad baggage, bury it, and move forward. Because in this situation, Cameron said it well. God broke him down to make him the man that he wants him to be. And I'm just praying to God that Cameron is able to take this opportunity, the second chance that God has given him, and be able to move forward, because he's got to live up to high standards of his mind.
Uh-oh, your phone is breaking up. But thank you so much for calling. Sonia did an excellent job. You want to thank her, Cam?
Yes, thank her very much.
Thank you, Miss Sonia.
And Jessica, you want to thank her too?
Yes,
You still
thank
there?
you.
Yes, I am.
Okay, your phone's doing better now. Well, investigation is difficult, especially court-appointed, because we don't get paid until afterwards, and it's very lawyer minimum wage. It's very investigator minimum wage, but we do it because we actually care about the community, we care about people, and we do try to save lives. And thank you so much for calling. You want to say something else, Sonia?
No, I just want to thank God for granting Cameron this second chance, and thank God for you for being the lawyer that you are, for fighting for your clients.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Sonia, for calling. I don't want to make this about me. Because Cameron got out last night, I was just so happy. I had another show planned for the day, but I wanted him to be able to come and tell his story when we're still excited.
I know.
Before I lose touch with him, because I've helped a lot of young men, and I lose them after about
he ain't losing
a
you.
month.
I'm gonna make sure of that.
So I want to make sure that we keep him around. So, so you think that you're gonna get your mind straight?
Well, I don't think, I know. There's no thinking. When you
All
think,
right, now you call us if you think that you're messing up. Is there another call on? Hello? Caller, you're on. Caller. Okay, he hung up. Maybe I left him on too long. But I wanted to say something else. Okay, so you've been out. So what do you think? What do you think you're gonna do tomorrow? So don't be too proud to do volunteer work. You can volunteer at places. You can volunteer at well, I know St. John's downtown. My church they feed the homeless, so you can volunteer to do that. Caller, you're on.
Hi, it's Sanjay calling back again. I'd like to state one more thing.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to let Eric's family know that we are in no way minimizing his death, and I extend my extreme condolences to his family. And just because we're all excited that this is a victory for Cameron and his family, we are in no way minimizing the death of their son, and my heart goes out to them.
Absolutely, Sonia. Thank you for reminding us to say that again. We definitely are not minimizing young Eric's death or his life. It was important to him, it was important to his community and his family. And I know how devastated I would be if someone in my family was dead, and you would be too. So please, if you see this, don't think that we're minimizing that. Caller, you're on.
Yes. Cameron, this is your Uncle Gary. As for looking for a job, you can come work over here while I'm at it. There's plenty of job openings for you. So God is good.
Where you work? Where do you work, Uncle Gary?
I work for Republic Waste Management.
Well, sign him up. I don't mind. It's a devil's workshop. I don't care if he has to volunteer. I'm going to come spank him if he doesn't. So come get him, Uncle Gary.
I sure will.
Thank you for calling, and watch us.
Look good, too.
You're so sweet. Thank you. Thank you, sweetheart. Cam is free. Yay!
Hey.
Who is that?
That's my auntie's husband.
Hey, Erica, she called.
Yeah, that's my auntie's husband.
Oh, okay, great. Cam, look, you already got your job. Did you know you had that job?
Not yet, now I do.
Well, let's hope they'll hire you.
Amen.
But like I said, you have to volunteer until you get there. You need to get around some strong men that will help you when you falter, like Mr. Duke that called in, like your uncle that just called in. But you have to take the right path, and remember that jail is waiting for you, and you don't want to be there. Please don't be another statistic.
Nobody.
You can break that, and you can't be too proud to ask for help, to talk to people, because it's tough to do the right thing. It's not easy.
Right.
So you have to be, man enough to do that. Do I have your commitment that you're gonna be man enough to do the right thing?
I was man enough whenever they. I don't know. It's just I can't thank God enough, man. He's changing me to the man I think I want to be.
Let's see if we can take one more call. Caller, you're on. Turn your music down or turn the radio down.
I'm going to another room.
Okay.
What you got?
You know. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I was laying there listening to the program. I just wanted to say something about the young man. I'm an ex-fella. But when I got out, I want to encourage you. When I got out, the good Lord blessed me with a job. I work for the University of Houston. I'm a nighttime supervisor.
All right.
And I want to just encourage him, just don't go backwards. Always go forward. He looks like he's a pretty good young man, and he wants something out of life. Don't let nobody tell you what you can't do and what you can do.
Can he call you one day, sir? What's your number?
832 343 7877. I mean, 7377. 832-343-7377.
What's your name?
Roderick Alexander.
Roderick Alexander?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to give him your number when I take him home tonight.
Okay.
Okay, keep on with your encouragement speech.
And when I got out, and the good Lord blessed me, the second day, I started with a temp service.
Wow.
So you got to sell yourself.
Did you have to have a GED for that, or would they take it even without a GED?
Oh, ma'am, you ain't have to have no GED. The only thing you got to do is know how to work and be dependable to be the work. I haven't missed a day since I've been there.
Okay.
This will be my first time in my life ever taking a first week vacation in June for my birthday.
Well, all right. Happy birthday. That's coming up in June, right?
That's right. And tell him, hey, man, just stay focused, when we were locked up, we always prayed. We always went to church. The thing that you did while you was incarcerated, do the thing that you did then, you can still do them out here. Do the same thing. Encourage yourself, build yourself up. Friends of yours, they wasn't there. Your family was there when you were locked up. That's who you need. The only thing you need is God, yourself, and your family. And keep your head up.
And one thing that's good about him is that he had little girlfriends, but he doesn't have any children, so he can start his life out right.
That's the best thing. That's the best thing about it here. You ain't got to look back for no problems.
You don't have no problem.
No baby mama.
He don't have no baby mama drama. He can start forward and fresh and try to get the right young lady and treat her with respect and start a family the right way. Thank you so much for calling, Mr. Alexander. I appreciate you watching the show and giving Cam encouragement because he needs some strong male figures, so I appreciate you.
Thank you, ma'am. Y'all have a blessed day.
Good night. What you want to say, Miss Jessica? Isn't that a wonderful thing?
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I just want to. I feel great.
So I
feel great. I'm just happy that my brother is home and we found justice for Cameron. And I want everybody to know that we not stopping. Whatever I can do, we're gonna help find justice for Eric also. But thank y'all so much for bringing Cameron home. Like I said, and I'll say it again, y'all put a piece of our puzzle was missing and it's put back together. We're happy. Have his niece at home that he never got to even touch. She's 2 years old, so we're gonna spend time. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna make sure he do the right thing. We're going to church Sunday because we got a testimony for everybody.
Okay, let me take this one more call and then we're gonna shut it down. Thank you, caller. You're on.
Yes, this is Martha Ayala, a long friend of Cameron.
Okay, Marciana.
I just wanted to tell Cameron, keep his head up, keep it straight. And in this world, it's not easy to keep your head straight these days and times. But he has to remember next year what he's saying today and just stick to the Lord. And he will be fine.
Oh, thank you so much for those words of encouragement. We have 4 minutes. We're going to shut it down. You want to tell him anything else?
Just that we love him and we're here if he needs us.
Okay, Marciana. What's your last name?
Ayala.
You know how to find her?
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Jacobs.
You know how to find her. Thank you, sweetheart, for calling.
Thank you.
All righty. So, Cam, we have 4 minutes. So let me let you say a wrap-up statement for the camera. Thank everybody.
I just want to say, I want to thank everybody. It's like I can't say enough, Miss Vivian King for helping me for fighting. She has a campaign too, running for judge too, and I'll be out there campaigning with her because she'll be a great judge. And everybody that's in that jail to never give up faith, man, because everybody has another chance of coming home. You know, it's hard down there, and things get hard. But if you turn to God and give your life to God, He's gonna help you come through it. Because at some point in time, I wanted to give up and didn't have any more faith. But when I just look at see my family, they just helped me keep going stronger. And everybody's gonna get their blessing. You know, God has a day for everybody.
Now, when you say you was gonna give up, what do you mean? You just want to say, make
Well,
God shoot you? You want to kill yourself?
Well,
What do
it's
you
like,
mean?
you know, you start to put down and put them to the side instead of holding on. You start slipping, not like give up, like kill you, like, you know, you start losing them. But then you have to grow back and strong and reconnect with them, get that relationship back. You know what I'm saying? And it's thankful, man. Like I said, I wish everybody in Harris County Jail, they go home back to their families in the best way, in the way that they came in. Don't come in the same way and leave the same way, man. You got to come out better and stronger and wiser, because this world is real and this is real life, and people die every day. And like Miss Vivian King said, Eric, I hope his family finds justice for the person that did this, and God bless them.
Okay, well, thank you for watching this last segment. We have 2 minutes to try to shut it down. And remember, this is our wrap-up and follow-up to the first 48 episode, in which Cameron Coker was the person that was wrongfully arrested. Thank the Harris County District Attorney's Office for dismissing the case. They are reopening the investigation, so if anybody has any information about who actually killed young Eric, please call the Harris County District Attorney's Office, call the Harris County Sheriff's Office, or you can, I guess you can still call Crime Stoppers, because they do want to know what happened. Let's hope and pray that Cameron Coker changes his life. He's 21. He hasn't had a full day out yet. I mean, it'll be midnight tonight when it's 24 hours that he's been out. He's happy as he can be. I'm so happy that I can share my knowledge with you. I've started this program as a community service project to try to educate the community, to bring the community together, hopefully to share our stories about the system, our victories, our losses, so that we get more engaged. We don't just be I don't want us just to be the people who are down there in trouble. I want us to fully participate as the judges, as jurors, as people who work down there, and help young black boys, white boys, Hispanic boys. It doesn't really matter. I know the black community a little bit better than I know the rest of the community, but I'm willing to help anybody. So thank you for watching Truth and Justice with Vivian King. It's been my pleasure that Cameron Coker is free, and we're so excited about that. Jessica has been his sister who's loved him all along.
Yes, and still will.
And Sonia's here, and we're here in the studio, and thank you so much for watching, and please tune in next Wednesday night from 6:30 to 7:30 for Truth and Justice with Vivian King, when I'll bring you another true crime story. Thank you for watching. So we're going to sit here for a while.